Quantum physics and spirituality. Why science finally proves you create reality. Mind equals blown. Welcome back to the channel, reality creators. What if everything spiritual teachers have told you about consciousness creating reality is now being proven by quantum physics? Today, we're exploring how cutting-edge science validates ancient spiritual wisdom and why this changes everything. Here's the mind-blowing truth. Quantum physics has discovered that consciousness directly affects physical reality. The famous observer effect proves that particles behave differently when observed by conscious minds. This isn't philosophy anymore. It's measurable, repeatable science, confirming what mystics always knew. The double-slit experiment revolution shows that particles exist in all possible states until consciousness observes them. Then, reality chooses which possibility manifests. Sound familiar? This is scientific proof of manifestation. Your consciousness literally collapses infinite possibilities into your experienced reality. Quantum entanglement proves what spiritual traditions call oneness. Particles separated by vast distances instantly affect each other, showing that everything in the universe is fundamentally connected. When you heal, help, or harm another, you're literally affecting the quantum field that connects all existence. The measurement problem in quantum physics states that reality doesn't exist in a definite state until conscious observation occurs. Before consciousness observes, everything exists as pure potential. This means consciousness isn't in the universe. The universe exists within consciousness. The superposition principle demonstrates that particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously until consciousness collapses them into one reality. This scientifically validates spiritual teachings about parallel realities, infinite possibilities, and the power of consciousness to choose which timeline you experience. The hard problem of consciousness has quantum physicists admitting that materialist science cannot explain consciousness, leading many to conclude that consciousness is fundamental, not emergent from matter. This supports spiritual teachings that consciousness is the ground of all being. Quantum field theory reveals that empty space is actually alive with invisible energy fields that respond to consciousness. This invisible realm that affects physical reality perfectly matches what spiritual traditions call the etheric plane, Akashic field, or source field. The Copenhagen interpretation suggests that reality doesn't exist independently of conscious observation, meaning your consciousness is literally creating your reality moment by moment. This validates every spiritual teaching about the power of mindfulness, intention, and conscious creation. Morphic resonance theory proposes that information and patterns are stored in invisible fields that consciousness can access, explaining phenomena like intuition, telepathy, and collective consciousness, bridging quantum science with spiritual experiences that were previously dismissed. The observer effect in biology shows that consciousness affects living systems at the cellular level, meaning your thoughts and emotions directly influence your physical health and genetic expression. Spiritual healing practices now have scientific backing through quantum biology. Consciousness-induced collapse theory suggests that consciousness doesn't just observe reality, it actively selects which reality manifests from quantum possibilities. This makes every conscious being a co-creator of universal reality, giving scientific weight to spiritual practices like manifestation and prayer. The quantum brain theory proposes that microtubules in neurons operate through quantum processes, potentially explaining how consciousness interfaces with physical reality. Your brain might literally be a quantum consciousness transceiver, receiving and transmitting reality-creating information. The implications are staggering. Every spiritual practice that involves consciousness, meditation, prayer, visualization, energy healing, manifestation, now has potential scientific backing through quantum mechanics. Science and spirituality aren't opposites. They're describing the same reality from different perspectives. Beautiful quantum creators, you're not imagining your ability to influence reality with consciousness. You're using the most fundamental force in the universe. Science is finally catching up to what your soul always knew. Consciousness creates reality. That's all for today. The universe isn't a machine you're trapped in. It's a consciousness field you're co-creating. Welcome to the scientifically validated spiritual universe where your thoughts, intentions, and awareness literally shape reality. Also, I want to share with you discover 3 simple practices to amplify your manifestation power. Link in description. Like and subscribe if quantum physics just validated your spiritual beliefs. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.